against Utah, but unless you were actually at Qualcomm Stadium, you didn't see it. The Mountain West Conference signed a television deal with a new network called The Mountain, part of College Sports Television. Trouble is, Cox Cable and Time Warner don't carry either. Frustrating for Aztecs fans who, like us, had to dust off our radios for tonight's game. And we did send a cameraman as State tried to avoid an 0-3 start. Utah strikes first. 5 minutes into the game, Darrell Poston punches in a 1-yard score. Utes up 7-0. Aztecs turn now. Check out Darren Muji going to the air, hitting Brett Swain. Touchdown, 17 yards on the play, ties the game at 7. But the Utes took advantage of a young offense. Muji threw 4 interceptions, 2 of them returned for touchdowns. Kevin Kraft also picked off as Utah rolls in this one 38-7. State falls to 0-3, a very frustrating way to start conference play. And the Chargers
Angeles into first place in the National League wild card race.
To mention the last decade and a half, he pitched a perfect 9th inning for the save last night to tie the record and did it again today to break the record. His .479 breaks the record held by Lee Smith. Smith retired in 1997, so that record lasted 9 years. On a side note, Smith was the guy who gave up Steve Garvey's infamous home run in the 1984 playoffs against the Cubs. As for Trevor time, today was Trevor's time for all time.
Mom was pretty proud lady. There was tears shed. There's no doubt about that. She said Daddy would have been real proud of you, and you know, being a former Marine that he was, I know that he kicked everybody out, so he had the whole section to himself.
Now, for San Diego sports fans, this is one of those moments where you'll always remember where you were when you saw it or heard it. And our own Mark Prescott was one of the 41,000 or so lucky ones who got to see it live. Mark, what was it like down there at Petco Park today?
Yeah, you know, once again, John, very cool to be a part of this. The stadium was rocking and rolling. In fact, fans have finally just left. What happened was a lot of people stood outside of Petco Park watching the team sending them off as they went to St. Louis. But just the magnitude of Trevor Hoffman, everybody on the Pittsburgh Pirates bench, the visiting team, stayed around and watched the celebration on the field. And the fans, of course, simply everyone just appreciated and loved this one. There was talk about attendance at Petco Park being down, but the last 2 nights, Trevor, of course, picked that up. He today got out there, saved the game 1-2-3 in the 9th inning, and Bruce Bochy, who has been his manager through all of this, even he was taken back a little bit.
And they just don't get any better, and I couldn't have been prouder for them, his family, and it's real special, you know, to be able to watch something like that.
Field advantage for the first round of the playoffs.
And Laz is here now to tell us how the Padres did it.
Well, it was a lot closer than the Padres would have liked, but they held on to beat the Arizona Diamondbacks and win the division title. First baseman Adrian Gonzalez fueled the offense. He was outstanding, going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Both the RBIs coming in the 4th inning when the Padres built a 7-0 lead off Brandon Webb. It got pretty tense in the 9th inning after Trevor Hoffman gave up back-to-back home runs to cut the lead to 7-6. Here's the owner looking a wee bit worried, but with a runner at first base, Hoffman got the ground ball. Josh Barfield made a great play, then pulled Adrian off the bag at first, heads up throw to second. The umpire called the runner safe, but Bruce Bochy came out and argued that it was a force out. No tag was necessary. And the umpire said, "Hey, Boch, I think you're right." That's it. He was out. Game over. Padres are Western
Division champs. You get a chance to go out on the field and play 162 games and to definitely prove a lot of people that we can play the game of baseball and play it well. And obviously this is a good sign of that. And hopefully, you know, we can just continue to go out and play as well as we had, you know, down the stretch when we had to.
Well, they're 20-9 since the start of September. Padres start a playoff series at home for the first time in team history. Best-of-5 series against the Cardinals. Game 1 is Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock at Petco Park. Jake Peavy expected to start against Chris Carpenter for the Cardinals. Game 2 on Thursday. Then they'll go to St. Louis for Game 3 if necessary. Game 4 will also be in St. Louis. And if it goes the distance, Game 5 will be back here on Monday at Petco Park. We'll have more on the Padres, the happy homecoming, and the Chargers' tough loss in sports, and then again on Sports Wrap after the news.
All right.
What a reception for the Padres tonight. They pulled up around 8:30 p.m., just a couple of hours after the game. We did get a chance to speak to a couple of the players who said they were feeling a little tired, but also very excited and very optimistic. They are already focusing on practice tomorrow, but as far as their coach is concerned, still riding the thrill of this win.
Oh, it's awesome, man. We couldn't be happier. for them too. We know how much support we've had, and over in Arizona, it was unbelievable. We could hear them. They were behind our dugout, and they rallied behind us, and really meant a lot to the club. So it makes it even a much better feeling to win for them.
Arizona, he had a chance to win the award, still does, but the Padres knocked him around like a piñata today. Fourth inning, Jeff Blum with a 2-out single up the middle that scored Mike Piazza to make it 3-0 Padres. A couple batters later, Woody Williams swinging the stick, does the same thing and scores Blummer. After a bases loaded walk to Brian Giles, Adrian Gonzalez came through with the biggest of his 4 hits on the day. Double to left, scored 2 to make it 7-0. Adrian finished the season with a .304 batting average. Padres scored 6 in all 5 with 2 outs. Diamondbacks started chipping away. It was 7-4 in the 7th inning. Carlos Quentin, local product, hit one deep off Woody Williams. What a grab by another local product, Brian Giles. Climbs the fence to take the home run away. Keep the Friars up by 3. Huge catch because in the 9th inning, Trevor Hoffman struggled. Gave up back-to-back home runs to Chad Tracy and Connor Jackson to cut the lead to 7-6. Yeah, shades of Dodger Stadium a couple weeks back. Padres owner John Moore is looking a wee bit nervous. Then a wild finish. Josh Barfield, the diving stop, pulls Adrian Gonzalez off the bag. So Adrian throws to second. The ump called the runner safe. Then Bruce Bochy said, no tag is necessary. It's a force play because the runner was safe at first. Ump looks at him and goes, hey, coach, you're right. That's it. Game over. Crazy way for the regular season to end. But the Padres are champs for the 2nd straight season. No champagne celebration this time. That was yesterday. Just a whole lot of smiles.
I tell you what, I can't say enough about how they played today again. I mean, we had to win. The Dodgers kept winning, and these boys, it's obvious they want to start at home.
These 7 days seemed like we were on the road for a month, and it's only been a week. But to get home and open it up at home in front of our fans after what this team's accomplished this year, it's going to be a lot of fun.
In Baltimore, the bad news is Marty Ball lives, and it cost the Bolts another win. Chargers came out with the correct mindset, just go right at the Ravens defense. Opening drive, Rivers swing pass to LT for the first time, LT's only reception of the game. Then Rivers went to Eric Parker, nice cutback move, 11-yard gain. Parker 4 catches, 37 yards. Then Rivers to Mr. Bread and Butter, Antonio Gates, fantastic one-handed grab. Look at him fighting for that first down yardage, and he gets it. Gator had 4 catches for 41 yards. Use him more. Rivers finished off the drive hitting Malcolm Floyd, 32 yards for the touchdown. Rivers 4 of 5 passing on the drive for 60 yards. Made it look easy against one of the toughest defensive units in the National Football League. Defense got a 3-and-out, but on the next possession, the trouble started. Rivers made a terrible throw, badly underthrowing Gates. Picked off by Bart Scott, who turns into a running back. Look at these moves by the linebacker. Takes it deep into Chargers territory. Ravens scored to tie it at 7. Then it turned into the defensive struggle we expected. Igor Olshansky and Sean Phillips knocked the ball away from Steve McNair, who really got nothing going in the first half. Bolts led 13-7 at the break. Fourth quarter, the special teams were anything but special. Mike Cyphers muffed the snap on the field goal attempt. Ravens ball. Late in the fourth, Cyphers punting from his own goal line. David Binn with a rare bad snap. Cyphers barely got the kickoff. Chargers were called for a penalty. Had to do it again. Instead, they took a safety to make it 13-9. Good decision, but McNair needed only 2.5 minutes to score. McNair from the Bolts 10 found Todd Heap at about the 2-yard line. Antonio Cromartie and Sean Merriman didn't wrap up. Heap scored the go-ahead touchdown with 34 seconds left to play. The Bolts had one last shot from midfield with 3 seconds to play. The game ended on Rivers' first sack of the season. Ravens win 16-13 to stay undefeated. Jim Stone has more from Baltimore.
It's the same thing, and every time you lose a game, you're talking about the same things. I mean, we know what it takes to win. The interception hurt us, penalties hurt us, and not finishing, not capitalizing that for turnovers. Down there we're on the plus side of the field.
Of course, remember the San Diego State men's basketball team ended last season by coughing up a late lead to Indiana in the NCAA tournament, and it looked like this year was about to start the same way. Playing in the Shamrock Invitational in Moraga, Aztecs saw a 6-point lead over Murray State evaporate in the final minute. This game, though, had a happy ending. Brandon Heath hit a close to half-court shot at the buzzer after stealing the ball with just seconds to go, lifting the Aztecs to an 87-84 win over the Racers. Heath scored 27 in the win. SDSU faces host St. Mary's in their second game of the tournament tomorrow.
Video of this spectacular highlight, but a few months ago, the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference had mush for brains and agreed to a TV contract that prevents San Diego viewers from watching the games. We can't record them, therefore we don't have highlights. 3 weeks ago, Aztec AD Jeff Schimmel said he was confident an agreement would be reached with local cable companies in time for the basketball season, but that has not happened. Heath had 27 tonight. Kyle Spain, who's missed a lot of practice time with an injury, scored 15. They play at St. Mary's tomorrow.